Talk about Tier 10 medium tanks. Mainly the ones you're going to be looking for on Clan Wars. Starting with the Americans on the M48 Patton. This gun right here does carry over from the Tier 9, so the only one you'll have to grind is this gun, which is only on the Patton. This is a very good tank. Its turret armor is pretty decent. It's not amazing, but it's only a medium tank. The whole armor is better than the ones before, but it's not anything to brag about. Although again, the turret, as you can see, is very well sloped and will bounce a lot. The only real big weakness with the turret is the commander attach, which is a big target. The gun. Now let's talk about the gun. Since you will probably be firing mostly gold ammo, it has APCR and heat shells, and then high explosive. The APCR is not that impressive. It's good for a medium and it's good for a tier 10. The heat rounds, on the other hand, are very good. That is good. The rate of fire is good, and the damage is good. It's accurate, it aims fast. And as you can see, the Patton has an amazing view range and signal range. Now, the tier 10 British medium. The FV has a good gun. It is on par with the Patton. It is good as well. The tank, however, in my opinion, is a little bit weaker than the Patton. You're going to regard it for clan wars because the view range isn't as good. Although it is still a good solid tank, it's a little bit bigger. And that I see as a problem. But other than that, the gun is good. Everything about it is good. Most of the tier 10 mediums you're going to find are very similar to each other. Now, the Germans. The E50 and the Leopard. In my opinion, if you're going to do a clan wars, the Leopard is the better choice. Now the E50 is like an E100, or no, I mean a King Tiger, just smaller a little bit, because it has a lot of armor, and that's kind of like a lot of armor for a medium tank, in my opinion. Especially a tier 10, where armor really doesn't matter anymore for a medium tank. You just want to be fast, which it is fast, but in my opinion, if it had less armor, it would go a lot faster than it does, whereas the Leopard doesn't have as much armor, and it goes faster with less engine power. And the Leopard is less likely to catch on fire as well, so that is very helpful. The Leopard has a better power to weight ratio, although the E50 does have more hit points. The Leopard weighs less, so the E50 is better for ramming if you want to be an aggressive scout. Now, their view range, the Leopard is just a little bit better and it has better signal range. We're going to talk about guns. This is the part that everyone wants to talk about because they like shooting things, and I can't blame you. Exact same gun, as you can see. No. Hang on a second. That's the... okay. Exact same size gun is what I meant, sorry. Now, the penetration is almost the same. The Leopard has 2 less penetration, but it fires faster. They both do the same damage, but the E50 has a better high explosive round. But then the Leopard, on the other hand, does aim faster. They have both the same accuracy. So the Leopard is a very good tank. It turns extremely fast. It has a good turret traverse, and it has a good hull traverse speed as well, being 54. I'm not going to tell you which tanks are the best tanks for clan wars. This is all what your opinion is. I'm just pointing out the facts about them. The back chat is a very, very popular tier 10 medium tank for clan wars, being that it has 5 shells in the magazine, and they are good rounds, especially if you fire the heat rounds, which most people do. Its armor is laughable, but at the same time it is fast, and it's small, and it can turn relatively fast. It's not as fast as the Leopard on turning, but it is still a good tank. It has a decent hit point hole. Pool, it's not that great, it's alright. The gun is good. It's accurate, it doesn't aim very fast, but you can dump 5 rounds very, very quickly. Most people use this for their clan wars. The Chinese have the 121, which you don't see very much of, and I think that's more the fact that a lot of people just don't play the Chinese, but if you look at it, the Chinese tier 10 is actually pretty good. It's got good hull armor, which, again, you're not really looking for, but turret armor. It does come in handy if you find yourself in a hold-down scouting position with its good view range. The turret armor is very good, and it's a small turret, so it's a harder target to hit. Now, it is not as fast as some of the other scouts, which you will probably feel the difference in, but its gun makes up for it in the fact that it has good penetration with gold rounds, and it's got solid all-around damage with a good rate of fire accuracy. Now the aiming time is a little bit disappointing. Another tier 10 that is heavily forgotten is the Japanese tier 10, which on paper does not look very good, but these things are amazing. It is a fast tank. It doesn't seem like it goes very fast, but being this big and having this fast of a gun, it is a good tank because it's faster than most of the other tier 10 medium tanks, and it's got good penetration. Its damage is a little bit lower, being that it is a faster gun, but it's accurate. And the tank itself is very, very bouncy due to the fact that it is an extreme slope. And it is also another rare tank because a lot of people don't play the Japanese. Now, the Russians. The Russians have a lot of mediums to choose from compared to everybody else. They have the two objects and the T-62. Let's compare the two objects first. This one and this one. Now, the objects themselves are almost identical in every way. They're both the same. You're really looking at the slope armor, which this is more like the IS sloped, whereas this one is just kind of a standard slope. But this one has better armor, solid-wise, whereas this one does not. So you would expect this one to go faster, but here it says this one actually goes faster because it turns a little bit slower, but everything else about it is faster, I believe. So I would probably say the object 430, but then you put it against the T-62, which has more hit points, doesn't go as fast, but it turns faster, and the armor is a little bit less, but it has another slope just like the object 140, and its turret armor is also a little bit less, but it is a much differently shaped turret. Now, compare the guns between the 430 and the T-62. Now, this is what surprises a lot of people, is the fact that you go over to this T-62 and you click this, and it's the same gun on all three of them. So really what you're looking at is speed, because that's what you're going to want, because your mediums are your scout tank. So it is a fast one. It is the fastest tier 10 medium shooting. Now, that being said, it does have the lowest damage, and its penetration with gold rounds being the heat, because all tier 10 mediums get APCR rounds standard. And yes, you do pay the price. Those are normally priced rounds. So the heat shells are your gold round. The heat shell has good penetration, it's accurate, its aiming time is a little bit less, but that's what you get. I mean, that's just how it rolls. So that's all to really say about mediums. It's all about your choice, your play style. Some people prefer the Patton because it has a nice turret and it's faster. Some people prefer the British medium because it's a little bit bigger than the other ones, whereas some people are going to like the German ones because they're fast and they have good guns.